All right, we are here for our next styling. Fun. Again, Camille Friend, I am your hair guru, hairstylist, and I just want to show you like some fun character looks. So I really got inspired lately. I've seen a lot of Nefertiti, Cleopatra stuff. So I was like, could we do our own design essentials Nefertiti? And here is Autumn. She appeared. Here's my beautiful model, Autumn, and she's a perfect model for this look. So let's totally get into like what we did for her. So some of this we did off camera because it is time consuming, but just know all of it can be achieved. All of it is very simple, and I'm gonna break down the steps that we did in the construction of this hairstyle. Let's first talk about what we did. So Autumn has a big full head of hair. So believe it or not, it is all under here. I did pre-cut the wig. The wig is 100% human hair Afro wig, and it's a full lace wig. So I did take and I just shampooed it, let it dry outside, and then I went into cutting it. It was cut with scissors and clippers. So it was cut with both of those details. So what I wanted to do is go ahead and use my model's hairline. So what I just want to show you guys, I'm just gonna pull a couple pieces. So this is actually Autumn's hair. So I'm gonna show you another piece. This is her hair. Like, she has long hair. So this is just one little trick that you can do, is if you just take this hair and you push it in and down, and you just create, you know, a little, what I call it, like a little bird's nest, a little cloud of hair, and you just push it in and you can blend it right into her hairline. Also, what we did is I went in and I colored into her hairline. I just used a dark brown powder just to give it depth. Because a lot of times you have to remember, if you're putting a hair piece, which is a solid piece, against the hair, you can see straight into the hair piece. I see that so many times on camera. If you take and you camouflage it and you darken in the scalp, and you don't have to go crazy, but just darken in the scalp in order just to give it depth, you make your wig line disappear. So that's just another little trick that you can do. And we went into her hairline probably about a half an inch, maybe an inch. Also, we curled this hair on just her own hair on a very tiny, baby curling iron, just spiraled it out. And then we applied the wig. So what I'm gonna try to do is dress this up. So, I mean, she looks beautiful now, but wait till we get finished. So we are going to get started. So this is a regular just acrylic paint that you can get at any like hobby store. And the reason I like acrylic is because the color is more rich and the product's a little thicker, and I know I can always get it out of the wig with some remover, so that's why I did that. And then a paintbrush, I just took, this is just it's a cheap paintbrush, and I cut the end off of it because the ends are usually the fibers a little looser. I wanted something more tighter, so then I can do some splatter. And I did practice my splatter, so don't think I didn't practice before doing this. So I did practice my splatter. So that's what we're gonna do. And I'll just do a little bit of a splatter technique, and we'll also finish with some hair accessories to bring Nefertiti into full goddessness. How exciting. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this paint, it's pretty thick, and I'm just going to do this. I'm just gonna take it, I'm just gonna splatter it some. However it splatters, I'm just taking and and I don't want it to be too even. So I'm just doing some splatter. I just want to put it randomly, like in this top section. That's how I envision it. I'm not trying to paint the whole thing. There's no like real science to this. It's just, you know, you do it till you're happy. Let me say this, you know, you always could, in this case, always use a water-based paint. And you know, water-based paint is much easier to get out, and I've done similar things with water-based paint. Or, you know, you could even use, it's called Real Color, and they are actually alcohol-based paints that we use in the business, and you could also use those to achieve something like this. So you don't have to go like crazy. The details will stand out. So, you know, you just have to keep going until you see what you like to see. I like that. It's just like a little bit of a halo-y effect. The next thing we're gonna put in, so this is our gold hair pieces that I made these. So, you know, it's just a matter of, you don't have to spend a lot of money on like buying super expensive hair pieces and hair accessories. You don't have to. So I made these myself, just a little gold wire, some gold beads. So I'm going to first put this first piece in. We have 3 pieces. So I wanted to put this piece at the top. And you know, once you get these pieces where you want, you know, then you can just we'll take some hairpins and put them where we want to hold this piece in. I didn't want to give her a crown. I just wanted to give her something that was more like artistic. It represented a crown without being an actual crown. So that's why I just created these little pieces. And I'm gonna put some hairpins in there too. So what's great about, like, you see how I made this? Yeah, it looks like a medieval torture device, but it really isn't. This is one way that you also can lock in your hair accessories. So this is one way that we make our hairpins when we're trying to lock in hair accessories where you need something to stay. And I'm just putting these right in just to give this a little bit more backing. Yeah, that's much better. Ta-da! And then I'm just gonna put these 2 little side pieces in. So a hairnet is a great tool. A lot of times when you're creating, I'm gonna call it halo-y things, you're creating an afro, you're creating cloud-like shapes, the more that you touch them, the more that your fingers leave an impression in it. And if you want this surface to appear to be more smooth, it's better if you use something to tap into it. So this is something that I'm just gonna take, and I'm just going to, like wherever I touched a little, I'm just gonna take and I'm gonna pat just to get this hair where I want it. And this is just gonna get us where we want. And then 2, anywhere you see something you don't like it, you can just tap it in. So just to finish, I'm gonna go in with some formation, some finishing spritz all over, just to make sure we have everything locked in. I'm gonna give it a good shot. And then I'll just go around and tap down again. And you see now with the hairspray and the scarf, it gives you really what you need to lay this in to be really, really beautiful. No, I feel like we're totally with royalty now. We have our Design Essentials Queen, our beautiful Design Essentials Nefertiti, and I hope that you guys enjoy. I think she looks deliciously beautiful today, and I hope that this is something like you can try it at home. It's just really, really simple, easy, and also the cool part, we're gonna take this down so you guys can see what our hair looks like underneath, how we got here. So I think that's really something cool we're gonna do today too. All right, we are here and we are going to do a wig application. Yes, I said it, a wig application. The reason I really wanted to do this is because how we see things done sometime on Instagram or YouTube, it's really different than what we actually do in the industry. So as we are pros, I wanted to really show you guys how we actually do it in the trailer. I mean, I do plenty of people's wigs like this. I do Sam Jackson's wigs like this. I do Lupita's wigs like this. And so here is my beautiful model, Kimmy. And we already have, underneath, we already did our wig wrap, and then she's pinned down. And so on this step, what I'm gonna do is I am going to actually glue the front of her hair. So I'm gonna give you some great techniques and great tips and a few little tricks. I got a trick that's gonna blow your mind. I'm telling you, that's how I got nominated with this trick. I'm not lying. So I just want to explain what I have on here. So this is what I call like my wig tray. This is my actual wig tray that I use in the trailer. So what I have in here, this is what we call a CC cup, which is a disposable cup. And then we also have in here 99% alcohol. I know there's a lot of versions of alcohol, but 99 is what works in when you're laying down your lace. And I will show you the ratio between alcohol to glue to make your wigs like magic. So this is called Spirit Gum. This brand is my favorite brand. This is KD151. Then I also have my toothbrush, because if there's any stray hairs or anything I need to move, I always have my toothbrush. So this is a synthetic glue brush. So you don't want to use human hair or any kind of human hair fibers on for glue. These are very disposable, and I usually keep them in a couple different sizes. So I keep it this size, and then I have smaller sizes when you're getting into more delicate areas where you're trying to get your glue. And then for removal, you use a larger brush. So those are your 3 sizes that you would need. And then when we apply the color at the end, I like this really round, kind of stipply kind of brush just to push the color into the lace. So those are the brushes that I use for application. So here is a wig cap. I use the wig cap on my finger in order to push the glue into the skin, into the lace, and to melt them together. So let's get into this wig application. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put on my glasses because this is detailed work and you need to be able to see. I'm gonna tell you another thing that's important. Even inside the trailer, you wanna make sure you have proper light when you're laying your lace down, because it makes a big, big difference. So this is something, because this is fine, detailed work, and this is what I call the money shot. This is what the camera picks up, this is what the camera sees, so you want it to be as well as you can do that. All right, thank you. So you always want to start in your center here and work your way out, left to right or right to left, it doesn't matter, but you always want to start in your center so you can keep yourself even as you're applying your lace and your glue. You never want to start on the side, because if you start on the side and you go over to the other side, you'll be off center a lot of times, because you'll be pulling, and then you'll be too far over. So you always want to start here in the center, and that's where you're going to start gluing, in the center. The thing about glue is less is more. Most people think they go in like this. You're not painting a house. This is not a house up here. This is somebody's hairline. It's somebody's face. So you don't need this much glue. You don't need this kind of size, because you're not painting a house. This is too much glue. You want to stick with something, this is a medium, or even you can go into smaller brushes. Some of these are different angles, but you want to stay in this family when you're applying your glue, because you don't need a lot of glue. Less is more. I'm going to give you guys a quick little glue lesson. So when you're applying glue, I always dip in and I pull out. This is the key to glue. I'm going to show you on my hand. When you're doing glue, you see it looks wet, it looks shiny. You have to give the glue a minute to catch up to you. So if you start patting this glue into the skin, it's going to disappear. And you see, you're losing the shine, you're losing the wetness, you're losing all of that in that ability to push it into the skin. Now you've seen it's disappeared into the skin, but is the glue in the hold still there? Yes, it's still there. But it's really important that you push it into the skin first before you put it into your lace. I always like to keep my wig cap in my hand. I'm gonna go to my brush and I'm gonna start here in the center. I'm gonna dip in and I'm gonna pull all the way off on both sides so my brush is clean. So I'm gonna start here in the center with Kimmy. I'm gonna pull my lace out and I'm going to go under her lace. And I'm gonna just let this product work. You see me, I'm working it back and forth, boop, 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 back and forth, until I start to feel it's starting to get tacky. So what I do then is I push it in. So when I roll this, I'm going to roll this forward. So I'm gonna roll, roll, roll. You see, I am pressing into her skin. And then I'm gonna go a little bit on top of the very edge. Press, press, press. Press and roll, press and roll. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna go back underneath where I ended, and I'm gonna go right underneath, and I'm gonna be moving this around, getting this all in her skin. and get it where it's like where I can feel it getting tacky. You can feel when it gets tacky because the brush is harder to move. Then once you have that there, then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm going to put it here and I'm going to press, press, press. You already see that glue line disappearing, am I correct? Can I get an amen from the back? And I'm going to push that down. My record, I'm gonna say this, my record for putting on a wig, I could put on a wig in about 12 minutes, gluing, and have it down and out the door. But I was really showing out that day. There's a lot of glues on the market, and I'm just gonna say this. So a lot of people, what they usually use is what they call a silicone glue. And why don't we use silicone glue for this sort of application? First of all, silicone glue is for like a lot of the girls who want to wear a wig, you know, you want to wear it for a wig, a week or something like that. These are character looks. So that's why I'm not using per se a silicone glue to do something like this, because it's not necessary. Now I'm going to go in and fine tune my work. So I'm going to switch brushes. Now I'm going to go into the alcohol. Let me explain. So alcohol, 99% alcohol is what we use to release the wig. Okay, so when we want to take it off, we use that to remove it. So I'm going to dip my brush in, but I'm going to pull it out. And I just want to show you guys, I'm going to get it where it's semi-dry. So I'm just going to wipe it off on my skin. It doesn't hurt you. And then I'm going to go right on top of my lace where I already laid it. And I'm going to go in, and that's going to reactivate it. And I'm going to get to push this lace in. This is part of the big secret. This is part one. We're gonna get on to part two. And I'm just going right across the lace to reactivate it and push it in. Because the alcohol is the magic. With this method, there's no need to tie your client's hair down. That's not what we do in our profession in Hollywood. Now, if you want to do that at home, it's all good. But you know, and then I just take and I just really dry brush it to get it where it's not so much product. Because remember, the alcohol is what releases, but the alcohol is what helps melt the glue and the lace into the skin also. But you have to do it in a very strategic manner. If you have any, you know, stray hairs, don't get crazy. And two, just know, Kimmy has a low hairline, so where her hair was, I'm just gonna blend in my hairline with that. I'm not gonna, like, you know, some people will be like, well, you gotta cut all of that back. You really don't. If, you know, if your actress doesn't mind, don't worry about it. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna tap a little bit of alcohol on my brush, and I'm just gonna get these hairs exactly where I want them, all going the right way. So it looks nice and pretty. And you can comb them up. I like to sometimes comb up to the side, get the hairs wherever I want them to go so they look natural. Now this is part two of the secret weapon. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little color on top. And this is the thing that happens with lace. As you're working with lace, the wig makers, they tint the lace and they tint it whatever the skin tone, like whatever Kimmy's skin tone would be. But as you work with the lace and you clean it every night, the 99% alcohol does remove some of the color. The palettes, they're really great because they come in so many different colors. I'm gonna stipple color on top of my lace. So I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna make sure this is the good color for her. It is. This is my number 2 secret weapon to hiding lace and for camera. So before, she would have had a halo of lace because that lace was lighter than her skin. Now, can you turn your head, please? It's gone. So this is something that I can always use. It doesn't matter whose skin tone, or if the wig line is too light, I don't have to worry about, oh no, I need to take off the whole wig and start all over and blah, blah, blah. I don't have to do that. I can just go in, pop some color on top, and I'm cooking. As you see, I'm on fire. It's not about caking, or really, it's just you're taking and you're just lightly tapping this into the hairline, and all of a sudden, this wig and this hairline matches. That simple. And I have these tattoo palettes in all shades. So it doesn't matter what kind of clients you're doing. I do this on my Caucasian clients, on my Latin clients, on my Asian clients, whoever's sitting in my chair, I do this. This is just gives you insurance when you're going outside and the light hits it that your lace is not gonna like light up like a Christmas tree. Because that's the worst feeling ever. I'm gonna stipple just a little bit in her hairline just to take down the color of this lace a little. Because just remember, when you're dealing with high def, you're looking at what they're seeing as highs and lows. So you want to be able to neutralize things so you're not seeing so much sometimes high and low. So that's why you do these little things, these little tricks. I'm telling you guys, it's just all little tricks. All right. So then we are going to get these clips out. So as I take these clips out, these clips are just for volume. And two, the same process I explained to you guys earlier, I actually did the same thing. So I shampooed this wig, I put it on a head, I pulled it all up with clips, I let it sit outside. Actually, I sat outside and had like a nice cup of tea while my wig was drying. Like, you know, depending on what time of day it is. A nice cup of tea, a nice bottle of champagne. You can just watch your wig dry. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm gonna grab some Silk Essentials. And this is gonna help me take away my flyaways and add a beautiful shine. And what I like to always do is I like to rub this in my hand, warm up the product a little, and I always usually like to start on the underneath. So I'm going to rub this through the hair, and I always start at the bottom. And one thing I love about this product, it's non-greasy, it's really lightweight. And you know, the great part I love, I can use this, you know, every day on my wig and it doesn't weigh it down. And you know, Monday through Friday, this wig looks great. And I don't have to worry about, you know, shampooing it or anything. I can just wait till the weekend to shampoo. I'm a weekend shampooer. Again, I'm just going through and working the serum in all over, getting her camera ready. And I'm just gonna take and brush her out a little. I set this wig with a 1.5 inch curling iron, just curls all over. I set it like 2 days ago, let it sit, just pin the curls in, pinned them down, and took it out this morning. So she's had this hair set for a couple of days. So I'm just gonna take the Formation Finishing Spritz, and I'm just gonna use a little bit on my brush, and I'm just gonna go around the hairline, just to make sure all that hair is blended and going the right way and looking really pretty. One of the benefits of wearing a wig, and I'm a wig wearer, is, you know, it is a protective style. So it allows you to protect your hair, grow your hair, you know, you can try different styles, textures. You know, I don't even take it very seriously. Like, I don't like, you know, when people say, do you wear a wig? I said, yeah, I wear a wig. Heck yeah, I wear a wig. Because it's just something that it's easy, it's changeable. I travel a lot. When you're building characters, there's not a limitation of, you know, what the person looks like. The only limitation is in my own mind. So I don't set those sort of limitations when I'm creating characters. I can create anything. I can make you look like anything. So that's part of the movie magic. This is our model, Kimmy, and she is our glue application model. And I hope that you really enjoyed. I gave you guys lots of tips and tricks. And again, I just want to thank Design Essentials. I am so excited to be a part of the family and looking forward to doing this many, many, many more times with you guys.